Okay, you guys, so welcome to weeks 7 and 8. Hopefully weeks 5 and 6 was really successful for you. If not, that's okay. Sometimes it happens, but more than anything, you guys, it's just about getting through and doing your very, very best. It's not about perfection. It's just
and
about...
here you are. You made it.
Exactly. It's not about perfection.
However you made it, you made it.
Exactly. Okay, so everyone, right now we're used to journaling. So you should be used to just writing down what you ate without judgment, without shame, all that kind of stuff. But the next thing I want you to do is in your journal, of course, you've been writing everything down. I want you to make another little column, or if you have the journal that I've created, there's already a column there for you. It's just been left blank. But I want you to start writing down why you ate something. So if you ate breakfast, why did I eat breakfast? If you ate lunch, why did you eat lunch? If you ate a random snack throughout the day that you don't normally eat, why did you eat it, right? The reason why we're doing this is, again, without judgment, but what we want to do is create mindfulness. Why are you eating? Is it because you're hungry? Is it because you're stressed, angry, anxious, sad, depressed? There's a million reasons, right?
Oh my gosh, guys. So this can lead into some really huge breakthroughs even, because if you're like me, I've worked with trainers or I've done programs, I've worked nutritional programs, diets, everything. And almost everybody has you journal, and why did you journal? But I'd always be like, because it was lunch. If you just write down the obvious. But having to really sit and think about, why am I eating this?
Yeah.
Half the time it was like, oh my gosh, I have figured out that when I am super tired, I eat like there's no tomorrow. I don't know why that is the thing, but maybe I think it's going to give me energy, or maybe eating and chewing, the action of that keeps me awake, but I have no idea. But I never would have figured that out to know that I'm eating when I'm super tired. So now I've gotten to the point to where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having a super tired day. So I try to keep extra water close to me, or I'll go to an iced tea or something different than shoving food in my mouth just to mindlessly eat it. So it could be, you can make this however you want to make it, but you can take it to a whole different level if you want to as well. Just kind of the pause of, why am I eating this? And I would always do it before I ate. And sometimes I didn't even eat what I was going to eat because I was like, oh, I'm not even hungry. I just needed a drink of water.
Yeah.
And so it's a great exercise to move you through, to move you on, and to have some really big breakthroughs.
Heck yeah, absolutely, Audrey. And I think one thing that Audrey said that I really want to hit on is that you said the word pause. Sometimes inadvertently, this isn't necessarily the reason for it, but sometimes this actually helps people pause and say, okay, normally I actually do eat this, or I eat at this time, or eat in this situation because I'm bored and stressed. Well, I don't know, maybe I don't have to do it this time. And then it kind of naturally just brings about that change, you guys. That's not the reason for this, it's just so you're more mindful. But if that is naturally what starts to happen for you, that is awesome. You just upgraded, you just leveled up on that one. But more than anything, again, it's just about being healthy and being conscious of your thoughts, your feelings, and then your connection with those things and food, So sometimes if the food is the thing that you run to, this will help uncover that. It's okay, without judgment, without shame, you guys. It's just letting you understand what this is all about, kind of figuring out the roots of the whole process. And then it's not so ambiguous anymore. It's more like, okay, this is starting to make more sense, and it's starting to, the puzzle's coming together. You're starting to understand why. And when you can understand why, that's when you can really start to bring about change.
Well, and Adam, I've been with a lot of other, in other environments of dieting and things like that, where they're trying to get you to your why. But I don't know why the techniques that you use and the way that you do it this time has worked. And I've done this for years and years and years, and have never figured out my why, and I think what it was I was not in the right mindset to figure out my why. And once you figure out your why, it really does change the game. Even if I have not caught myself going back to how I was ever since I figured out my whys.
Yeah, exactly. Those whys are super powerful too. Because when you actually uncover all that, then everything starts to make a lot more sense. Then every day is purposeful rather than just automatic. And just being a machine every single day and just program X, Y, Z, go through it, So for everyone listening to this, I hope this provided some insight. For the next 2 weeks, you guys, you are going to be writing down why you're eating. Okay, so little homework for you guys is, of course, add to your grocery list the items needed for your dinners. Okay, so Audrey's going to be showing you how to make a dinner right here. Super easy, super fast, because we know dinners are sometimes some of the most stressful meals ever. You guys most likely just got done with a long day of work. For those of you who have kids, it's even a longer day than just that. We all know how it is with kids. And so it's nice to have something just simple and almost just mindless to put together, right? Like, it's just, you don't have to think so much about it. You don't have to prep it so much. It's literally something that's just so easy. So of course, creating your grocery list, adding in for dinners, start journaling why you are eating the way that you are. And then also something that Audrey and I had thought about was encouraging a little bit of family participation when it comes to the evening dinners. You know, especially for anyone who may have really young kids and all that kind of stuff, this is the time to really start just those like healthy practices, you know, and showing kids like the art and the joy of creating food, you know.
And the way that you can do that, like this stuff that I have in front of me was just stuff I found in the house. Like, you can have the kids like go to the pantry and make it fun and make it like, okay, everybody pick one item from the pantry and let's see if we can make a meal out of what you pick. You know, you pick your protein and the kids pick everything else, and throw it all in a pan or throw it in the crock pot or throw it in your Instapot and see what happens and what comes out. And, you know, because again, I keep talking about thinking outside the box. It's so cool to show how you can mix different things in different ways to create whole new tastes in a way that you didn't think that those things should be together. I always keep chicken already cooked up in my fridge because I'll use this as a snack. Sometimes I'll just grab some cold chicken and eat it really quick if I'm super busy during the day. Just gives me some protein and helps fill me up a little bit to move me on to something else. I always have some sort of beans in my pantry. Tomatoes, I'm actually growing tomatoes, so I went out and picked these.
Nice.
Peppers, these are banana peppers. Jalapeno peppers sometimes get a little spicy. So don't be afraid to use bell peppers. Don't be afraid to not use peppers. Like anything you have. If you don't have anything, don't use them. Onions, I always have an onion. I had some salsa. So I'm gonna throw all this in a pan and make a deconstructed burrito bowl. You can add in flour tortillas if you want. Throw it in there together in the tortilla. You can mash the beans to make black refried beans. Just all sorts of different things you can do just with what I pulled from my fridge and my garden. But again, getting the kids involved and having them be active and it kind of gets fun. And the things that they'll bring you and the things that you combine it into may not always be great and may not always taste good, but what kind of a memory have you just built with your kids? And it's like, oh, remember that one time we all picked weird things out of the pantry and then we laughed about it because it was horrible. But I mean, it's something fun to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing is too, Audrey, with all this is like, sometimes, I mean, fast food always has its place in our society. I understand that, but sometimes fast food makes it really disconnected from the fun process of actually making food, you know, and like even where food comes from, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So it's not only fun and family bonding time, but it also gives your kids that opportunity to really understand food, how to put it together. But more than anything, you guys, it's not about perfection on this one. Just have fun. It's just about making progress. It's going from maybe just always ordering out and always ordering food to now what can we make? What can we discover? This is health. This is fun. This is good stuff.
When my kids were little, I always had the 3-bite rule. They had to, because I would make weird concoctions and weird things and get creative and have them help me. You know, they would look at it and be like, oh, I don't think I want to eat this. But I started when they were little that you have to take 3 bites. And they were like, can't we just do 1 bite? And I explained to them, I said, no, the first bite is just getting over you're eating something you think is going to be yucky. The second bite is, oh, I could eat this. And the third bite is to determine if I really like it or not. And if they didn't like it, that was totally fine. But at least they took their 3 bites. And it gets them past being a picky eater. It gets them, as they get older, open to new experiences and trying different foods. Like my son, when he was 5, we went on a short cruise and he ate 9 plates of snails. Yeah.
Oh
Never
my
thought
God.
saw that one coming. But it was because I had taught him the 3-bite rule and to try everything, because you might find a new favorite. And it goes as adults too, because a lot of adults aren't used to eating things outside their comfort zone. So think outside the box, get outside your comfort zone and try 3 bites. Like when you're out, even at a restaurant, or if you're ordering food, order something you would have never ordered before. Because you might find a new favorite, and it might be the new thing that you love.
I mean, at the end of the day, you guys, isn't this kind of fun? I mean, we're not sitting here giving you nothing but a list of rules and like do's and don'ts. Like, you can still be healthy and expand your whole palate and still enjoy food. Food was meant to be enjoyable, you guys. I think more than anything, just sometimes just going in one opposite direction or the other with it is what kind of makes it just so hard for people to grasp. Like, you know, some people make food out to be the enemy, or some people are like, oh, I never want to eat it again, or some people, you know, make it their best friend. But it's learning to have a healthy relationship with food.
Exactly. And once you learn how to enjoy food the correct way and have fun with it, it is, as weird as it sounds, it's not constrictive.
Yes.
And it's not obsessive, and it's not, you move out of that I'm on a diet and I'm limiting what I eat to, oh, this is fun. So when you go out and you are at a happy hour with friends or family and you're eating, you know, bread and cheese, like on a charcuterie board or something, you don't have that guilt. You're like, oh yeah, this is good. And you eat it in portion and you eat it correctly and you're having a blast, which is what food brings us together, and food brings us memories. And, you know, because we all have memories of growing up connected with food, and certain things our grandparents made, and certain things we ate on the holidays. So it's a big thing to bring people together in so many different ways. And when you have the right attitude and you have the funness of food, it changes everything too.
Exactly. I absolutely agree with that, Audrey, because more than anything, when it comes to food, like, food truly is wonderful. I mean, it's nourishment, it's good things for us, it brings people together. I mean, even I know one guy who says food is love for him, you know? And more than anything, you guys, I just want everyone to start remembering the relationship with food is what's most important during this entire 12-week program. It's not about, you know, shaming yourself because of this food or shaming that food or all that kind of stuff. It's not about that. It's just more about learning how to have a good relationship with it, fixing the relationship with it, and really enjoying it instead of just following a list of do's and don'ts and never eat a carb again in your life and all this other kind of stuff that's flying around there way too much. So, and
it's getting real with yourself, because you can do this 12-week program and you can pass it with flying colors, but if you haven't changed and you haven't gotten inside your own head to know what's triggering you, why you're doing these things and why you are the way you are, it's not going to work. And honestly, nothing will work, because I'm testimony to that, of doing it my entire life. And it wasn't just until recently that everything has changed. Like, I could honestly tell you, I have been addicted to food. And moving forward after this program, I can honestly tell you, I am not. And now it's a business, and I'm with food daily. And to to have that good relationship with it, and it takes work on your part, and it takes you being ready to make those changes, which after completing this 12-week course, you might not be ready yet. You might need to go back and do it again at a later date, you know, process everything that you've just learned, and you might have to do it again or move on to the next phase and dive deeper into it. But I really hope that you have signed up for this program because you're ready. And we can't make you do anything. The people around you can't make you do anything. It has to come from you, and you have to make the decisions to be ready. And I know you can, because I used to see all these commercials like, I did it, you can do it. I'd be like, no, I can't do it. But you guys, I really did it. And I'm not there yet, and I'm not perfect, and I fall back and everything, but I am moving forward, and I haven't gone backwards. For me, that was just huge, because I would move forward and then I would just go way back from where I even started before. have to start all over again, further behind than I was when I started. So you can do this, you really can, and move forward from the progress that you've made here to move on and don't go back.
I love that. I mean, I'm not going to add anything more to that. I think Audrey really hit that out of the park on that one. That's perfect.
Well, it's because of the way that you coach and the way that you talk, because Adam constantly gave me this analogy of, we're climbing this mountain together, and I'm going to stand firm and not let you go further back. And on the days that I was having horrible days and just wanted to eat my way through the day, or go out and make bad choices at restaurants, or just make bad choices, I literally would picture Adam standing on that mountain going, you're not coming past me, so you can come back to me, but I'm not moving.
Yes.
So when we start again and have the reset button tomorrow, you're here and you're not down here.
Exactly.
So, it's really to put people around you that are gonna help you not go back down that mountain with all the progress that you've made.
Yes.
And I was doing that years and years and years and years. Like, I'd make it halfway up every single mountain in front of me and never make it to the peak. So to have made it this far, and I can't even say that I'm at the peak yet, but I can see the peak.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't gone backwards. So.
And she's got not just hope now, but like realization, like it's getting there.
Like, I can really do this.
You can really do this, exactly.
When I had my big aha breakthrough, literally, I was like, what? Oh my gosh, I can do this. This was not who I was.
And I hope every single one of you watching this too are getting those aha moments along the way, whether they're big or small. Like those aha moments are so pivotal for your transformation journey and really helping this stick, because now you're like paving this brand new thing in your mind. And you're letting the old pathway kind of overgrow and just, you're not going that way anymore.
Right.
More than anything, just realize you guys were not going that way anymore, because doing those things, those actions, those habits every single day was bringing you to the result that you don't want. So now we're just cultivating new actions, new habits, new things that are bringing you to the life and the health and the enjoyment and all that kind of stuff that you want. So more than anything, let's just recap real quick. Again, this week, I want you guys to journal your whys. Why are you eating your food? And then also start adding to your grocery list dinners, all the little recipes and all the ingredients for the dinner. And then also remember to just actively encourage and have, your little kids participate. For those of you who have kids and want to get them involved in all that kind of stuff, it really helps the whole process. And when they smell the food and see the food, it helps them that much more accept the new kind of food that we're starting to eat too as well. So there it is, you guys. Recap for weeks 7 and 8.
Okay, guys, so we are going to make up a dinner with things that we found in our house. We had talked about having the kids help us find things in the pantry. If you have a garden, if you're growing anything, if you just have things laying around, just kind of think outside the box and grab things and let's just cook them up. So I always keep a jar of chicken in my fridge. This, I think, has been seasoned already. I cooked it in coconut oil, and I think it was seasoned with dried powdered ranch, because I eat it cold, and that I have found is the best flavor that I like. So we've cooked this in coconut oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw everything else and cook it up. But then again, remember how I'm thinking, do different things, use different oils, use different techniques, and you will get different flavors and mesh them all together, and it's amazing. So I opened up a can of black beans, and we're gonna rinse them really quick. We'll rinse our beans so they're ready to go. And then I like to use a variety of oils, like you've heard me talk a bunch now. So I've got some chili pepper oil, which is that you can make yourself, super easy. Olive oil and those chili peppers that come with the pizzas. Put them in a jar, a bottle, whatever you have laying around the house. Use what you have, and then just let it sit. So the peppers will flavor the oil and make it a little bit spicy, but not too overbearing. So the longer it sits, the more flavor it gets. I like to use avocado oil, and of course I like to use olive oil. And this is toasted sesame oil, which changes the flavor completely. So I think I kind of want to go a little bit Mexican-y feel. I'm gonna turn on my burner, And I think I'm gonna go with, so my chicken is cooked in coconut oil. So you're gonna have that little bit of tropically coconut taste in the chicken. So I am gonna throw some avocado oil in. Maybe just a tablespoon. I'm gonna do my onions first because I like my onions cooked down and caramelized. So we'll throw those in. You can use as much or as little onion as you like. Again, it's all preference. Don't get hung up on measuring or trying to make it perfect. It's about just throwing things together, having fun, using what you have. If you have an onion already cut up, or if you have one, like a half one left, use it up and don't use any more. So we're gonna cook that down till it caramelizes a little bit, and then we're gonna just throw everything else in. So we'll let this cook a little bit, and then we'll throw it back in. Okay, so with the onions, I like them to start to get a little bit of a char, and then I like to start throwing stuff in it. Because after this point, you'll start to burn them. So let's throw in our peppers and our tomatoes. Stir it all up, get it all combined. You know what, let's season that up a little bit. Let's do some salt. Maybe just salt. Let's just try that. Again, simplicity. If you have a spice blend that you really love or that you use a lot of, try it out. Throw it in here. See what turns out. Have the kids pick a spice. Try it out. It might be your new best flavor. So I'm gonna throw the beans in there, and then what I'm gonna do is just throw the chicken. Not too bad we don't have smell-o-vision. It smells so good.
I was literally thinking that.
And then this really, because the chicken is already cooked, you're not gonna need to cook it a whole lot. And if you don't want the deconstructed burrito bowl, what you can do is make this a bigger meal. You can make some jasmine rice as well, and mix all of this in the rice as well. You can have the rice separate on the side. You can have the beans on the side and just the chicken and the burrito if you want in a tortilla. You can use tostadas. Leave your beans, just put your beans on your tostada first, and then cook all this up and throw it on top of the tostada. Add some lettuce. There's so much you can do with this. Tacos. Tacos might be a little weird, but you can. It's edible, so go for it. Just do it. So we're gonna cook that up just a little bit, and then the last step, I have some leftover salsa. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit in for some more flavor. This one had some beans and corn in it. Let's just use it all up. Why not? There we go. So I've cleaned out my fridge and I've made a dinner. If you are not eating dairy-free, what you can do is once this is all done and cooked down, just sprinkle a little bit of cheese on that, and I can show you what that looks like. But if you are eating dairy-free, it's good to go, and all you gotta do is plate it. Okay, so our everything cooked, we got it hot, we blended all those flavors. I made up a dairy one and a non-dairy one. On the dairy one, just a little sprinkle of cheese on top, and then about a tablespoon of sour cream. Keeps you in your portions, gives it just a little bit different flavor. Non-dairy, you are good to go. You can actually serve this over rice or stick it in any other edible thing that you want to try. So, happy eating.